Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Lexus RX500h F Sport Performance. Huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Charlotte for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at the website, that link is down in the description. This RX is finished off in incognito and the MSRP is just shy of $76,000. This is powered by the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo. It's paired with the hybrid electric motor system along with the 6-speed automatic, and combined it pumps out 366 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. It is all-wheel drive, weighs in just over 4,700 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 17.2 gallons, and you'll expect to see 27 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.2 inches. Its overall length is 192.5. It has a width of 75.6, a height of 67.3, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.1 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, you'll notice this still retains the hourglass design for the grille. However, it is a lot more subtle than previous models. So you'll notice there's no actual distinction between the bodywork and the grille, but it still has that flowing look to it. The Lexus badge is also the sensor for distance pacing. There's a forward camera for this model, and you'll notice the upper section of the grille is actually body colored with that weave in it, blending in nicely. There's parking sensors up front too, and then a dark housing for the LEDs with that crisp DRL. And then in the lower section, there's also fog lights too, and a lot of gloss black accents to tie it in. There's also more cutouts in the lower section, and then very prominent lines coming down the hood with this upper section. It wraps around that Lexus badge up front there. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a set of matte black wheels with that multi-spoke design to them. You'll notice the body-colored fender arches to give it a more luxury vibe. There's the F Sport badge, power folding side mirrors, which have a camera and a turn signal, and then you'll notice some more gloss black accents for the door handles. It's on the window trim, the roof racks, and there's also a full moonroof up top. And then very crisp lines that flow down the side, including the fender arches, and then some smoother lines in that lower section. And the rear slopes nicely with this window trim accent with the small window there going all the way to the back glass. Now, this also has the body colored spoiler. There's the third brake light. Wiper blade is tucked up underneath. And then you'll notice Lexus spelled out within that trim accent that connects the LED lights. There's a backup camera, parking sensors, and when properly equipped, this can tow around 3,500 pounds. Now, as we move out to the interior, you can use the control on the key fob or the electronic release underneath. And for this 500, this has a good bit of space in back. You'll notice too, on this driver's side, you can fold down the back seats and even put them back up, which is nice. And then there's also the 12 volt, and they are power, so that is nice. And it looks like it's a one-touch button system, so you don't have to hold it and you can let those go up or down. Now, there's also this cover. There's a 120 volt on that side. There's also a few hooks where you can place items as needed. And you have a spare tire with a little bit of storage under the floor. But of course, you can fold those back seats down if you need even more interior space. And they can close the liftgate and lock the vehicle too. Now, if you do lock it, this does have proximity rear door handles. With this Lexus model, the door handle is actually fixed to the body. So just pull on that electronic release on the inside, and that's how you can open up the door. Where this has the Mark Levinson audio, there's also suede and leather on the door, storage in the lower section. This is the electronic release. Pulling it towards yourself is the manual release. And then there's lock and unlock and the window control. Now, with the interior, there's leather and Alcantara for the seats, and you have the control down below in order to recline the seats and to fold them down. So they are power operating for all of those controls. Now, this front seat has the easy entry and exit, so it is slid farther back, but of course you can get even more leg space as needed. Now, there's storage pockets, vents in the middle. You get heated and ventilated rear seats with temperature adjustments and auxiliaries. And then at my height, 5'10", I have about 2 inches or so of headroom with the seat all the way reclined. So it is very spacious for your backseat passengers, and you also have the armrest with storage on the back section and then cup holders on the front section there. And then some small windows there, along with speakers in the pillars back there. And that just breaks up this section here. So it's much easier to see from the inside than it looks from the outside. Now up front, there's the window controls, side mirror adjustments, more storage, and then the same materials. F Sport is also on the door sill. And then for the front seats, F Sport is also in the headrests. And then there's the leather and Alcantara. And as we hop in now, we're greeted with a solid and perforated leather steering wheel. As I start this up, the steering wheel will adjust, the seat will move forwards. This also has the power steering wheel, so you can adjust it further from there. Now on both sides, you'll notice paddle shifters, and then for all of the controls, these will actually pop up on the head-up display. So you'll notice on this left side, you can read out volume. There's also a few arrows with this pages button underneath it. And then same for the right side, where there's lane keeping assist and cruise control. So if I just hover my finger here, you'll notice it on the gauge cluster too, but it will appear on the head-up display. So right now there's the following distance and mode for cruise control. If I push the lower button, now we have display and the height adjustment for the head-up display. And hopefully you can see on camera going between those adjustments on this right side. When you go through the display, it will show you your meter display too. So you can hold to customize it in order to configure the information that you would like. So you can adjust what you'd like to see on the center, the right side, and the left side as well. You won't see any of those changes on the head-up display, but it's nice that you can go through them and visually see them there. And then for the controls on the left side, by hovering on these, you'll notice there's mode, audio, and then tuning. And those will appear on the head-up display as well. So just depending on where you'd like to look, you have all of those. They're very easy to use once you get used to the feel of them. Now on this left side, there's a little bit of storage. There's a fuel cap release, lift gate, memory seating adjustments, and then the odometer trip, dimmer switches, and one air vent. And you'll notice that gloss black trim accent works its way to the large infotainment system, where you have a lot more to go through. So there's the navigation when you have that paired. There's also music, your phone when that is connected, and then you can go through a lot of vehicle information. Under the driving modes, you have a few, including a custom mode. So you can go into this and configure all of these to your liking and how you want the vehicle to react. You can also get back into your seat controls. You can fold all of the seats down, which is really nice to do that with one touch. There's also a lot of standard safety features that you can turn on and off as well. This also has the active sound control, so it will pipe in some of the exhaust noises depending on the level that you set it to. There's trip information, even the energy flow, so you can see where the power is being sent. There's all-wheel drive, tire pressure, and vehicle alerts, and then you have a lot of settings to get into and adjust as needed. Under the vehicle customization, you can get into the head-up display. You can also look at some meter information. There's the lights. The illumination is for the interior lighting, so you can adjust the colors of that, of course. There's also the door control, boarding and exiting, so you can adjust all of that. You have the custom drive modes and a few others here to monitor. Now, still within the screen, there's all of the climates right in the middle, where this also has heated and ventilated seats. There's a heated steering wheel. You can push on climate and pull up this info, and then push on the 6 squares there, and you can go through some of these here. So you basically have shortcuts to view all of this information as well. Underneath that, there's fan speed, where you'd like the air to go, and then temperatures are actually the dials on both sides. Volume knob is right in the middle, and then there's defrosters too. Now underneath that, this also features parallel parking, and then with it in park, I can push on view and pull up this camera system here. So you have 2 different angles depending on how you want to see what is around you, which is nice with those depictions, and then just push on view for it to go away. Now there's air vents underneath that, along with auxiliaries, some storage, wireless charging with a lot of storage down below, and you can hide all of that away, where there's also 2 cup holders, and you do have one that will be a little bit deeper. So just depending on the type of drink that you have, you can adjust the front one, and then this is how you put it into reverse. So now there's the camera system, and you can bring up a few different angles along with the guidelines. When you put this into drive now, you can pull up the forward angle and then push on view again, and you can get through a few different angles here. There's also automatic, so when you come to a slower speed, it will automatically pop up to give you better visibility. Now from drive, you can just pull it straight back and use the paddle shifters, and then park's located at the front. There's also traction control, auto hold, the e-brake. There's also an off-road setting. And then with the armrest, you have a very deep area there, and it also opens up both ways. There's a locking glove box with plenty of space, and then garage door buttons on the left side. The right side is for the digital rear view mirror. So you have several adjustments that you can get into, just depending on how you want to set this up for yourself. There's also a sunglass holder up top, and then adjustments for the sunshade and sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility. Like I mentioned earlier, with the exterior design, much different than the inside. So you have plenty of visibility over both shoulders. Setting off behind the wheel now for the RX500. I have it in sport mode, 2nd gear. And with a minor acceleration, I have the active sound currently on high, so we can hear that, but if I shut it off, now of course that goes away. A little bit of a gimmick, but if you want some of that sporty noise, you can get that through the speakers. But behind the wheel for this RX500, this is a very luxury focused SUV from Lexus. While it's not a large 3-row vehicle, which there are some options of course to go with, this is a perfect 2-row vehicle with its size and with the comfort that this has to offer. Now I have been able to drive these in the past. With the F-Sport suspension too, it definitely gives it a good feel and it's something that you can feel confident in taking around some turns like this. So while it's not a vehicle you're looking to do corners hard, it's going to give you a little bit more confidence, keep the vehicle more sturdy in those situations, less body roll basically with the suspension. And along with that, the F-Sport seats in this are fantastic. They hug me incredibly well, both for down by my thighs, around here, and then the headrests have a nice feel to them as well. So this is a very comfortable vehicle that would make for a great daily driver, and in terms of its power and performance with this hybrid, it's definitely a great option to go with. Now, with this being a Lexus, it is a luxury focused vehicle at the end of the day, so it's very comfortable and quiet. And then as you can tell, coming to a stop there, the camera system was activated. It will go away once you give it a little bit more acceleration. But even the paddles in this are quick. Now it is interesting to see that this only has a 6-speed automatic, but the paddles are quick. It seems that the gears are very nice with just driving it so far. There's no gear hunting or anything like that for the 6-speed. Out on the highway, it's going to be very nice and comfortable, and you just have a well-refined vehicle for the price with a good amount of performance too. So while this has a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo, it does have the hybrid assistance, and I think the hybrid assistance is really neat. I have that in my 2025 Toyota Tacoma. I had a plug-in hybrid at one point and decided to get rid of it. I think the hybrid in the background here is a lot nicer. Now there's no full EV mode for this particular model. It's just going to act in the background. When you first start this up, it will be in the EV setting. So it's nice that it basically does that for you. There might be some EV assistance while you're cruising out on the highway, but there's no actual way to put it into strictly an EV mode, which I have seen from some hybrid models. My Tacoma does not have that. It's just that assistance in the background, which is nice for more power. It does make it smoother to drive, so that does help with the 6-speed automatic. And then you get a little bit better MPG as well. This is a heavy vehicle, but overall, it's still going to average a pretty good amount and just give you a really peaceful ride with that performance. And still in sport mode, second gear, here we go. And just a minor acceleration. This has a good bit of power to it, especially with the torque being over 400. You will definitely be able to get up and move with this model. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the RX500h F-Sport Performance. Very comfortable place to be. All of the materials are nice as you would expect, and it's a great layout to go through all of this information. So if you're not looking for a super techy vehicle, Lexuses give you everything that you need without going overboard, I would say. So I like the simplicity of how everything is laid out, but the information that you can go through. And for the few miles that I have put on it, along with the ones I've driven in the past, this is a comfortable place to be. If you want a luxury focused vehicle with a lot of tech features that are standard, this is a perfect option to go with. And you have some power and performance, a little bit of a sporty exterior as well with the F-Sport package. You get a few cosmetic differences compared to a normal version there. And even taking the train tracks on like that, you really didn't even feel it. So it's definitely going to provide you with a good ride. A little bit stiffer in some situations, but that's what the F-Sport is, just to give you better handling and a better feel overall. And as far as headroom goes, at 5'10" up front, I have about 2.5 inches, and this is a height adjustable seat. Looks like that is all the way down. So you can be slightly taller than me and still fit comfortably. You have plenty of room for your back passengers as well. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Lexus RX500h F-Sport Performance. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Lexus Charlotte for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.